If you ever go abroad, whether it's on holiday or for work, it's very likely you're going to need to spend money. This is a great opportunity for banks and other providers to profit from your transactions. Whether that's when you buy food, purchase a gift for granny, or withdraw money from an ATM. Banks love this because they not only get to charge fixed fees on international transactions and withdrawals, but also hidden fees in bad exchange rates. However, with the right travel cards, you can avoid all of this. So in this video, we're going to share our favorites for traveling. And while some of these cards are only available in the UK, like this one from Starling Bank, I'll also share with you what to look for when picking a good travel credit and debit card. So regardless of where you live, you can find the best card possible for you. And to help you save a little extra while you're abroad, during the video, I'll also share with you Monito's top travel money tips. When we think about what a good travel card is, we want to look for something that's fee-free on both transactions and ATM withdrawals, and one that only uses the correct exchange rates. This is important because transfer providers and banks rarely offer the real mid-market exchange rate, which is the one you can see on Google. For example, if you typed in 1 GBP to EUR, Google will show you the real exchange rate right now. Unfortunately, instead of this rate, you and I are typically given a much worse exchange rate, and the provider or bank pockets the margin between the real rate and the poor rate, and that's basically known as a hidden fee. So I'm going to share with you a credit card and debit card that uses only a fair exchange rate and is free of both fixed fees and hidden fees. The debit card I would recommend for traveling is this one from Starling Bank. It's available to people in the UK, and with the Starling debit card, both international transactions and ATM withdrawals are free. And with this card, you can withdraw up to £300 per day and no more than 6 times in one day. You'll be able to use the card anywhere that accepts MasterCard, which is a lot of places, unless of course you're going to North Korea, and to that I would say good luck to you. But what's also great about this Starling card is that you'll also receive MasterCard's exchange rates, which are more or less on par with the real mid-market rate that I mentioned earlier. And this is also our first travel money tip of the video. In order to receive MasterCard's exchange rates when paying internationally or withdrawing money, you must always select the option to pay in the local currency. This is key, as if you choose to pay in your home currency, you'll be charged a fee known as dynamic currency conversion. These fees can sometimes be as much as 10% of the value of the transaction. So wherever possible, always select to pay in the local currency. Starling Bank is also super easy to register with. They don't require a credit check, and you just need to download the app and register by proving your identity with some sort of identification such as a passport or driver's license. And once that's submitted, you could be verified in just a couple of hours. Now, I'm not suggesting Starling becomes your main current account. What I would recommend in the context of traveling is that you transfer an amount of money that you want to budget for your trip to your Starling account. You can then access that while you're on holiday. Remember, this is a debit card, so you can only spend what you have deposited. This can be a great way to stick to a budget while you're abroad. However, there is a chance, of course, you could run out of money, and that's where a credit card can come in handy. It is useful to have a credit card while you're traveling, not only as a means of financial backup or security, but also for payments that require pre-authorization. For example, hotels often require deposits, or perhaps if you rent a car, you'll likely need a deposit for the insurance excess. You'll also, with a credit card, get the added benefit of Section 75 protection. This basically means that you get purchase protection on any goods or services you buy that costs more than £100 and is less than £30,000. And that still applies to purchases made overseas. The credit card that I recommend right now for traveling is the Barclaycard Rewards credit card. However, as interest rates and products from banks are always changing, this recommendation might not be the best in a few months. That's why you need to check to see if a credit card you're considering matches the criteria I mentioned earlier in terms of the ideal travel card. Right now though, the Barclaycard Rewards credit card is the ideal card. It charges no fees or interest on spending overseas, and if you withdraw cash and repay it in full, you'll be charged no interest or fees. You'll also receive Visa's exchange rates, which again are more or less on par with the real mid-market rate. There's also 0.25% on cashback on pretty much everything you buy, and it comes with 5 months free access to Apple TV. Just make sure you schedule to cancel after 5 months, unless of course you want to continue paying the subscription fee. I actually have a current account with Barclays, although this isn't related to the credit card I just mentioned. And if I was to use this card abroad, I would incur fees on transactions of up to 2.75%. So if I spent $500, I could incur fees of $15. So while I'm recommending a credit card from Barclays, they're not always going to be the best option. When you're abroad, never use a traditional debit card or credit card from your bank. It's likely, like mine, that they'll charge between 1.75% and 4.25% to withdraw cash or pay in a foreign currency. These are specific types of cards that allow you to actually own and hold various foreign currencies which you can instantly access when you pay with your card abroad. For example, with this Wise multi-currency card, you could have both a pound sterling and euro account. Let's say you're traveling to Europe. You could log into your Wise app, deposit pounds, and then convert them to euros. You could then use your card while you're abroad to spend those euros just like a local would. So that would mean both fee-free transactions and fee-free ATM withdrawals, although Wise does have a monthly £200 fee-free limit on withdrawals. It is super easy to sign up for this card though. Just like Starling, you'll just need to verify your identity and you could be registered within just a few hours. And when it comes to exchanging currency, Wise are also renowned for having great rates, as they only use the real mid-market exchange rate and just charge a small fee. You may have seen the sign or term Bureau de Change in airports and tourist hotspots like Covent Garden and the Champs-Élysées in Paris. These are currency exchange providers that are typically very popular with tourists, and to entice people, they often advertise that they don't charge commission fees. Instead, by offering poor exchange rates, they actually charge those hidden fees that I mentioned earlier. We actually did a study at Monito and found Bureau de Change in Paris at various locations can charge an exchange rate margin of up to 16.6%. That's why it's so important to pay attention to the exchange rates you're being offered, and it's always a good idea to use companies like Wise that only use the real mid-market exchange rate. I'm off to Switzerland in a couple of weeks to visit Monito's head office, and I will be traveling with my Starling bank card that I'll deposit money into from my Barclays account. That way I can use it to withdraw and spend Swiss francs fee-free. I'll also be traveling with my Capital One credit card, which is similar to the Barclays card one I recommended. It has 0 fees on international transactions and only uses MasterCard's exchange rates. Hope you found today's video useful. If you did, please consider subscribing and give this video a thumbs up, as it'll really help our channel. See you in the next video. Goodbye.